Chicken, sorry. Chickens, I think next month. So we are my my born house,
Wow, that's amazing.
my bird house.
So Victor, are the animals for pets, or do you use them for food and milk?
No, no, but milk. The cows are
Milk.
for milk.
Interesting. Wow. And the chickens will be for eggs, I guess.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Okay, we are now live on YouTube. Woo! Hello, YouTube. This is the RCIIS Conversation Club that happens every 2 weeks online, live on YouTube. RCIIS is an international English school located in Toronto, Canada. And during the pandemic, we are trying to connect with international students all over the world and provide them with free and very affordable English learning opportunities. This club is free, and it is just to give students extra English speaking and listening practice with interesting topics that we change every meeting. New participants each meeting as well. And if you're interested, you should sign up for this club on the RCIIS website. It's rciis.ca. And we love meeting new people. And we are also offering all of our English classes online right now. They are both academic classes, including a pathway program, including IELTS preparation, and also classes specialized in speaking, accent reduction, and other topics. So please get in touch if you're interested in working with us. So that's my little introductory spiel. My name is Leslie. I'm one of the English speaking teachers at RCIIS. Also, special guest here with me today is Kyle, who is the academic director for our school, RCIS. And then we have some lovely international students here. Some of them will be coming late, hopefully. Some of them will be located in Canada, studying abroad, but many of them are studying English or working in their home countries right now. So it's great to meet people from all over the world. Our topic today is the environment and nature and Earth Day, because tomorrow, April 22nd, is Earth Day, and this is Earth Week. Right. So that's why it's our theme. And yeah, so we're going to go around and I'll have the students as well as Kyle introduce themselves. We can each say our name, our country, if we have any connection to RCIIS or Canada, and something about the environment or nature. So for example, you might say, I'm really worried about the environment. People don't take climate change seriously enough. Or you might say, I never thought about nature until the pandemic, and now I care a lot about birds and being in nature, or whatever you want to say, your family favorite animal, favorite plant, whatever. Yeah, so that will just be a little introduction. That was a lot of points, so if you forget, you can ask me again. Kyle, how about you go first?
Sure. Yeah, so as Leslie, thank you for introducing me, Leslie. As Leslie said, my name is Kyle, and my connection to RCIS is easy. I work here. So I'm the academic director here. I teach occasionally. Some of my former students may be watching, who knows, but for the most part, I'm behind the scenes. I work in the office, even though you can see the office is my own house these days because of COVID-19 pandemic. I think everyone is more familiar with working at home, or at least know somebody who's working at home. As far as the environment goes, I'm from the east coast of Canada, which is on the ocean. So I like to hear the sounds of the ocean and smell the ocean. Unfortunately, Toronto doesn't have an ocean. So sometimes I miss that part, but I live in Toronto now. And maybe when the pandemic is over, I can visit my home one more time and dip my feet into the ocean. That would be nice. And maybe go for a swim. Who knows? So nice to meet you all.
So you're an ocean person, Kyle.
Yeah, technically I grew up near a lake, but I always, I always have a connection with the ocean and visiting my friends and looking for creatures and starfish and all of these kind of fun things in the ocean is always really fun.
Yeah, it's always very satisfying when international students, when we were in person in Toronto at RCIS, were so amazed how big Lake Ontario is in Toronto. They'd often think, oh, it looks like the ocean. So
Right.
that was always kind of cool.
Yeah, true.
But
We have a big lake here, that's for sure, in Toronto.
mhm.
Looks like the ocean.
Okay.
It doesn't smell like the ocean.
It doesn't smell like the ocean. All right. Let's hear from Victor next, and hopefully we'll hear some cows in the background.
Hi, my name is Victor. I'm from Brazil. Actually, I'm living in São Paulo, and now I'm on my parents' farm, my birthplace here. I actually about the environment, and there's a farm here, so we live in a there's this really quiet place. There's a waterfall nearby my house. So that's simple things that I can do now that maybe in a you start to think about a near future if that stuff will not stuff my that place will be there to people enjoy and you start to think about uh, take care of the land of the everything. Of course, in Brazil we have the Amazon too, this big and great forest that we just need to take care about because it can change the whole world if something if does is the care of it is don't the people who might be in this world to take care of this land don't start to act like right now. We know we as civilians, but we need to do our part, but the big guys they can do a bit more.
Nice.
I think.
Nice. So, Victor, I introduced you jokingly about cows. So for viewers who are not part of our earlier conversation, Victor is on his family farm, and in the background, in a field, there are cows, and there's a baby cow, a calf. And he showed us on camera a moment ago.
I don't know.
But
I'm trying to see, but they're not. They don't. They
not
just
visible?
walk
Okay.
away. Not visible.
Well, Victor, you have permission at any point of this conversation to interrupt us and say, guys, cow, and point your camera to the cows, because we want this.
Or a big one. I will show you.
Any cow that comes into view, we want to see it.
Okay.
Yeah, and so Victor, for this conversation, you will be our agricultural expert. So please bring up your farm and your farming knowledge as much as possible, because it's very unique. I'm a city girl. Kyle's maybe a city boy a little bit. Yeah.
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 Okay. I will try to show some curiosities about being a agriculture guy. But perfect. I don't live here anymore. I stay here for 17 years. I know something.
Yeah. Okay. Well, since we're just speaking to a Brazilian, let's hear from Heidi next. So Heidi, we're introducing name, country, relationship to RCIIS, and relationship to nature or the environment. How you feel about it? Some opinion.
Okay. Hello, guys. My name is AJ. I'm from Brazil, Bahia, the west of Bahia. It's not my first time here, it's my second time, and I'm really happy. Yesterday, when I received the invitation, I studied with you online. I did my pre-academic 4, and I'm organizing myself now to start my pathway in June or in May. I hope I can start in May. I am organizing everything not just money, but time, kids, family, and work. So, and I hope I can start it. I'm totally a city girl, totally, but I'm worried about the environment because my city has been growing up a lot and very fast. And I can realize that people don't care about a lot the environment. And we know that when a city is growing up, you have to pay attention, you have to have well done work. And people are not doing that. They just want to grow up and earn money. And it really worries me, especially because I have kids and we've been living here for 15 years. And we just see the city growing up and people not caring about the environment. Um, I I I love farms. I have friends who have farms. Okay, I think it's a wonderful here in Lane. There are many, and I don't know if Victor knows, but Luiz Eduardo Magalhães is very famous because of agro business. And so we have many friends who have farms here and works with lands, soy, cotton, corn. These people usually worry about the environment, especially because I don't know how it works, but you have to, it depends on the size of your land, you need to do something about the environment. I don't know exactly what. So these people do. And that's it.
Nice. Okay, so I'm so sorry. I forgot your beautiful Portuguese pronunciation of your name. So I said Heidi, but it's Heije?
IGA.
IJ. IJ.
Yes.
Okay.
No problem. It's very difficult, even for us Brazilian people.
IJ. I will try to work on that. And cool that you, although you are in Brazil like Victor, you have studied with us online. Is that right? It was an online class? Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Okay.
She might come back for her pathway, right?
Coming back for more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Let's go to Violetta. Hi, Violetta.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, everybody.
Tell us your name, country, connection to RCIIS, and something about the environment or nature.
Okay, well, my name is Violeta Vilchis. I'm from Mexico City. And I've been living here in Toronto for more 1 year. But now I'm living in Coburg in Ontario because my husband was relocated for 3 months here. So I have been studied in RCIIS for 1 year. And my last program was IELTS preparation course.
With UMA, right?
Yeah, with UMA. Yeah, and I got 7, so I'm happy about that. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And well, living here this week, I think there are a lot of nature. There are a lot of natures because I'm living in Toronto. There are a lot of buildings. I know that there are parks, but it's not the same as here.
Oh, we are experiencing some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
We're going to get Violetta back on the line shortly. And let's throw it over to Mariana.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, Violetta, you cut out. You cut out. But you were starting to talk about nature in Canada. Oh.
Uh-oh, I worry Mariana will start again and then
Violetta I know, and then we'll have to keep coming back. Okay.
Probably.
Violetta, if you can hear us, we're going to have Mariana talk and then we'll come back to you. Okay, go ahead, Mariana.
Well, I'm Mariana. I'm from Colombia. I live right now in Bogota, Colombia. Right now, I work from home and I'm doing the process to go to Canada to study. So Instagram recommend me RCIS.
Oh,
And
Instagram did. Awesome.
and yeah, so I saw that you have a conversational club. So I said like, oh my god, I want to be there. So here I am. It's my first time here, and that's it. I love the animals and the environment. Like since I was born, I live in a big city in Bogota, so we don't have a lot of nature here, but I love to travel on the weekends to like places near the city with waterfalls, with mountains, with river, and I love all of that. Right now with the pandemic, well, I don't do it so often, but I always been in love with nature and with animals, and I try to be conscious about the things that I buy, to be the less harmful the possible to
Mhm.
my environment. But I think we can do more about this topic. I think we can do better, and mostly the big industries, because as
Right.
individual persons, we can do some efforts, but sometimes it's not enough. And yes, that's it.
Very nice. Very
Thank you,
nice.
Mariana.
Excellent use of the word conscious, to be conscious, more
Yeah.
conscious of the environment. Yeah. Let's try Violetta again. So Violetta, you cut out at the moment you were saying something about nature in Canada.
Okay. Yeah, as yeah, the last part is was that living in Toronto, in the north of Toronto, I live close to a lot of buildings. So living here in Coburg is different because the house is near to the lake. There are a lot of trees. Yeah, the nature is totally different. I think even the air it's better. So that's why it's when we are aware about the nature and how we need to take care of it.
Oh, thank
Beautiful.
you.
Lovely. Okay, let's hear
Sorry,
from
I just want to clarify. Violetta, right now, where do you live?
In Coburg, well, in as
Oh,
of
Coburg.
yeah, this Monday, I start living here, and I will live here for 3 months,
3
only
months
for three
because of
months.
your
Yeah,
husband. Got it. Got it.
yeah.
Thank you, Violetta.
nice. Okay, let's hear from Christopher next.
Okay. My name is Christopher. I am from Venezuela. I'm living right now in Venezuela. Um, I think this is my second meeting with RCIS because I took a trial class with RCIS. I think the last week. I don't know. I don't remember. And this is my second meeting. Something about the environment. Something that is interesting for me is the idea about people don't think, okay, people always think in the problem, but people don't think about the solutions about that. For example, okay, I'm going to avoid the pollution, but maybe reducing the production of cars, or no, the emissions for cars. But the thing is that there are a lot of countries that depends from oil, black oil. I think yes, black oil or gasoline. So they are going to. This is maybe harmful for some economic situations from all other countries. And for example, the industry of Tesla, I think is um, its idea is correctly because they are thinking about solving the environment problem, but with technology that they are then that with technology that is not harmful for environment. I think it's a topic that a lot of people don't take, and it is important.
Mhm.
Wow.
True.
You guys are like
Yeah, you guys are better than us.
very informed and very articulate and great in your English skills. Christopher told me before we went live, he's just in high school. So Christopher, are you very interested in this subject? Do you know what you want to study after high school, or what type of work you want to do?
Engineering. Engineering, because
Ah.
social sciences, I don't like social sciences. I
Okay.
don't like social science, and something like arts or something like that, I don't like.
Cool.
So I would like something that is related with science, like
Maybe
for example
environmental
engineering.
science. Who knows?
Yeah. Maybe you could transform industries to
Oh
be
no,
green.
this is difficult. That is difficult.
And Christopher, correct me if I'm wrong, but Venezuela uses a lot of oil for their industry, right?
Yes, the economical system in Venezuela depends from black oil.
Right. So you have a unique perspective on this topic. Excellent.
Yes, because it's just dangerous situation.
Yeah.
So we have. I'm not. I'm not. I'm sorry. I disagree about the pollution. Okay, but we have to take some. I don't know. That's word. Some techniques, or what's the name of that? Okay, we have to make ideas or solutions for that situation if it takes place.
Nice. Oh, good. I was scared. I was like, oh, Jefferson has left us. He was like, I want to introduce myself. Jefferson, I hadn't forgotten you. Could you introduce yourself now?
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Jefferson. I'm from Colombia. I live in Bogota, also, like Mariana. Well, this is my second time in RCIIS with Leslie. I'm happy to see you again. Well, like Mariana said, we don't have many nature near because of the big city, but we have parks and some mountains near of the city that we can go to hiking or camping and something like that. Well, I'm not much the farm or something like that, like Victor, but I like that things and the relation with the animals, like cows or dogs. I love dogs. I don't know. That's all.
Nice. Awesome. Great to see you again as well. Now we have a mystery student. Perhaps I'm not sure if I pronounce it Xavier. That's how I'd guess in English. Are you there? Can you hear us? Xavier, are you there? Okay, well, if you're shy, you're very welcome to turn on your camera and to speak to us, but no pressure. There's no pressure at RCIIS. Everyone is welcome.
A little pressure.
Kyle I'm the good cop. Kyle's the bad cop. Okay, good. Introductions done. Thank you so much for sharing about yourselves. Now we're going to get into the back and forth. Let's talk real talk. So tomorrow is Earth Day. That's why I chose this topic. I've never really thought about Earth Day. Maybe when I was in school, we drew a picture of an Earth.
Yeah.
Like, is this helpful? Did you guys know it was Earth Day tomorrow?
Can I interrupt you?
Yes, please.
There's
There's a cow?
They're trespassing here. I don't know if I don't know if you can't see them. It's just the end of, but no, I think I lost them.
Oh, false alarm.
That was appropriate, though. You acted quickly.
We appreciate the effort, Victor.
Now it's there. It's coming.
Oh, it's coming? Oh, I see.
Oh, I see it.
Is that the calf or is that a full-grown cow?
No, it's a calf.
And Victor, we really appreciate your solar panels. Very environmentally conscious.
We do have solar panels in our house.
Beautiful. Very cool.
Oh man, this is perfect. I'm so
Yeah.
glad Victor attended.
Victor, you're the
this
best,
club.
man.
Yeah.
We're all like, yeah, we live in the city. We have a lot of buildings. We don't have much environment. And then Victor is living in a beautiful farm with solar panels and cattle, and it's amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah, and isn't Brazil is famous for its beef, right?
Beef.
Right? I feel like there's always a one previous club, there was some Argentinian students and Brazilian students, and there was a bit of a like competition of like who has better steak.
Oh, interesting.
But maybe Victor's cows are for milk. I don't know.
He said they're for milk, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yes.
Don't have any
great.
bad thoughts, Leslie.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if this group is vegetarian or not. We can definitely discuss that
True.
because that's a big thing that people are doing nowadays. Is anyone vegetarian or vegan here?
No.
No.
No. Okay, so we'll talk
No.
about eating Victor's cows. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Not Victor's cows. Not Victor's cows.
Victor, where are you from in Brazil?
Okay, I'm from Minas Gerais.
Okay,
Minas Gerais.
a beautiful state.
Yeah, the gold stage, the mine, the mines.
Nice. Okay, so back to the question about Earth Day. Did you guys know about Earth Day? Is there anything special that happens on Earth Day in your country? Do you think Earth Day is helpful, or is it just kind of like a day that nobody really does anything? Any opinions?
Well, I think it's a day that nobody knows about, but actually I do know because in my company they celebrate the Earth's week. So all the weeks we have mails about the nature and things that we can do. So that's why I know. But everyone else is like nobody knows about the day.
So what is your company industry? Like, why do they do stuff for Earth Week?
No, we have, it's like a multinational of marketing research. It's like nothing about the environment,
Interesting.
but I don't know, they like to do this kind of activities.
That's good. I think you work for a good company in that case, Mariana.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
good.
RCIIS should be having its Earth Week maybe tomorrow. I mean,
Yeah.
this is our Earth Week. This is our Earth Week.
True.
I planned this.
We're raising
We're gonna
awareness.
plant trees after this. Okay. Anyone else? Opinions about Earth Day?
I just know about the day because of the school, especially children. Like you said, they paint, they
Right.
talk about, especially about water. They use the week to work with kids talking about water. My school has a beautiful garden, a big one, with a wonderful tree in the middle of the school. There is a wonderful tree we call Ipê, and people, and for the small ones, teachers talk to them about the week, the day, they celebrate, but with the kids, teenagers and the high school students, we don't do anything special about the day. This is why I know I have a kid. I have two kids, but one is smaller, and she still celebrates the date with the school. The girl, the boy, now he doesn't do anything special.
Do you
He's
think
older.
it's helpful? Like, are you happy as a mother that your children learn about it?
I really think it's helpful because they talk with us about what they've learned, what they learned, what the teacher said, especially because when the teacher says something, it's always more important that we usually say. So they accept in a different way. We can say the same thing, but when they listen from the teachers, I think they keep in mind in a better and a different way. So my kids, they talk about everything they learn at school, and the girl who has been celebrating the day, the week, every day she has something to show us, to talk about, to discuss about, to fight with us if we're doing something wrong with the plastics of the water. So I think it works a lot.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, that's true. And I think that children are almost more environmentally aware than adults sometimes, because when we're in school, our teachers, our friends kind of pressure us, pick up your garbage, don't throw things on the ground, recycle the paper. But then when we get older, it seems that adults don't care anymore. That's true. Very good point.
That's
And
very.
I think.
Oh, go ahead. No.
No, I think the schools do well that because in my case, for example, when we go out, we are hanging out, and if my kids see something wrong about the environment, some trash or people doing something, they say, "Mom, look at that! It's not okay." And I'm sure the work is nice because I don't see my children throwing trash. I don't see them. They keep the trash in the car, in the bag, and the bicycle if they're riding a bicycle. So I believe that they are doing that because the school is also helping a lot about that.
Right.
This is the school has to do that. As I said, they listen to teachers in a different way. They have friends doing the same thing, and we can realize that they are doing a good work when we can see our children doing the right thing about the environment.
Yeah, and about Kyle saying children sometimes care a lot about the environment. I just Googled did you guys remember Greta Thunberg? I think her name was. I think that was before the pandemic, maybe just before.
Yeah, it was.
She became very famous. So like kids can have a big
How dare
impact.
you?
What, Jefferson?
The famous words, the how dare you.
Oh, how dare you? Yes.
Correct.
She was so emotional and dramatic and
Massive.
strong. Yeah. So you watched her speech. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that clip is quite famous on the internet in general. Yeah.
Anyone else have comments about Earth Day or children activists?
Or viral slogans. By the way, how dare you is probably one of my most famous English expressions.
Oh, really?
Yeah. To use it seriously or somewhat sarcastically.
My mom used it a lot. That was one of her scolding phrases.
Right.
Don't you dare, she'd say. Yeah. Okay, enough about my mother. Any other opinions?
Well, in Mexico, we don't celebrate the Earth Day, but I know that there are some organizations that they have programs such as collecting garbage from the streets. They reunite people for collecting garbage. But I think that it is a good day to create awareness about the environment, about the consumerism, because I think the consumerism is a big part of a damage of environment, because we are consuming food or things that we don't really need. There are studies that there are more things that are wasted that the people consume. They bought more food or things that are end up in the garbage bin than the people is consuming.
Very true. I think that's true.
There should be an awareness about recycling, because most of the people said, I'm recycling the cardboard, plastic, and compost, but they need a certain treatment. For example, not all the products are can be recycled. For example, the seafoam, there is very difficult to recycling that kind of material. So it's better to avoid buying things with that material. Yeah, I think that we can, as residents of that earth, we are leaving a carbon footprint, but we can improve with our actions to avoid or reduce that damage to the earth. So that's why I think that the Earth Day is good to create that awareness.
Yeah. So any kind of things like Earth Day that spread awareness is always helpful to some degree.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Just as a reminder.
When was the first Earth Day, Leslie? Any idea?
Wikipedia said, I think, like 1970,
yeah,
the 70s.
Correct.
Oh, that was just a quiz.
Yeah.
Kyle, I'm not inviting you back. I'm not
you.
inviting you back. This is not about me and my knowledge.
Well, I mean, if you didn't know, I wouldn't punish you.
Yeah. But this is cool. What you bring up, Violetta, about our carbon footprint. That was good use of that expression. And
very good.
And how much we waste in our consumption of. I've been learning this year. I didn't realize that clothing was such a big problem. And we're talking about food waste actually in my class, my afternoon speaking class today, because rich, wealthy countries like Canada, just we waste so much food. It's just appalling. Yeah. Any other opinions someone wanted to say? Victor?
I want. Yeah. It's something, first of all, there's something that I didn't notice. That's just beside me. There's the solar panels. So, the fact of celebrating Earth Day is like I just said. And the schools, they do it here in Brazil. They do it, I think, not a lot, but in the week of Earth Day, they promote events and some kind of things. I remember me as a kid taking a tree. I just collect a tree from my house, a little one to plant and nearby the school. But this thing that now is most is strong, the news about the climate change and all the stuff. But we do every not all day, but not just on Earth Day. We do some things that help, of course, and a little bit to, or not waste paper, or just remember to turn off your light. That's something that I used to. I work from a wind tower. Not a wind tower. A wind power. I work for a wind power producer. So we do this stuff about energy by wind, and is an environmental thing that you clean about gas production of energy. So it's really good to know that your company is doing good for the air.
Well, Victor has turned into a robot, but hopefully he will.
He's also every day he's trying to stop wasting much. Yeah. I think it's better. Okay. I think I'm back. Yeah, my internet is not really good here on the farm. I'm sorry for that.
That's very understandable, Victor.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm just finishing is about what we do to change our way to view things, to do things about the environmental and the environmental stuff. Is like I used to reduce the waste of paper in any way in the company don't interrupt my job, because is also is the company is an environmental company, and it uses a lot of paper. Is disconnected situations, so we're trying to reduce it to reduce the pollution of everything, and the company itself, they show us all year about environmental things to try to get the world better.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense to me, Victor. That's great.
Yeah, you guys are like so ethical. Like I feel a little ashamed. I don't think I'm doing enough personally.
Yeah,
But
seriously.
Christopher, we cut you off. You were going to say something.
No. For example, here in Venezuela, the Earth Day it doesn't matter here in Venezuela, I think, but I think I remember that 10 years ago, in my school, set some buckets or baskets with a specific color for a specific waste for recycling. But I think that day is more like a memento for reminding that we have to protect the earth more than celebrating the day.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's always interesting. Like when days are like if we frame them as like celebrating, or if we're framing them as like a political kind of learning day or issue day. Like big in the news today is about in the US, there was a very important court case for there was a white police officer who murdered a black man about a year ago, and the people celebrated last night because the police officer is guilty. This was found guilty of all 3 charges. And then I heard people talking about it. They're saying, well, we're not celebrating that someone is going to jail, right? We're celebrating that some change is being made. So sort of like that, like Earth Day is, yeah, I guess you're celebrating nature, but you're really trying to make change. It's like a political kind of day as well. Yeah. I wanted to bring the discussion a little bit towards the pandemic, and how a lot of you guys, it sounds like you're saying the environment is a very urgent issue. And I wonder what you think about, because the pandemic has taken control of all of our energy, all of our resources and thinking. Do you think that that is problematic, that other issues like social justice, human rights, or the environment are being kind of pushed away? Or perhaps you think that, because of the pandemic, people are not producing so much waste. They're not driving, they're not flying so much. So the pandemic has actually given the environment a helpful break from all of our pollution. What do you think about the pandemic and the environment and what the effects have been?
I think the pandemic is giving a break to the environment, and it's helpful, of course. But we have the other side. Many problems we can see many other kinds of problems that are not involving environment. It's difficult the times are difficult. The pandemic is being good for the environment, but On the other side, we have many problems. So it's difficult to have a specific opinion about that because in my opinion, we can't see a balance. I don't know if it's good or not. Sometimes I'm in doubt about that. Okay, the environment is okay, but and people now, what's happening to people? So it's very I can't see, I can't understand a balance between the environment and people, and it worries me.
Okay, anyone else?
Yes, I think that, of course, the pandemic right now is like the most important thing for everybody. And I can understand that. And also, I think the pandemic gives like a break to the environment in a lot of aspects, but in others, no. For example, the masks. We are using a lot of masks that we are throwing away every day, and we have to do it in the correct way to throw away these masks, because nowadays already the people is finding these masks on the ocean, so we are creating more pollution with all this pandemic situation. So of course we have to use masks. I know, but we have to throw it away in the correct way, because we can't create more pollution and more environmental problems just to fight against the pandemic.
So I think actually everything I agree with most of what Aichi and Mariana said, because yes, on the one hand we are giving the earth a break from the air pollution. That's true, I would say. However, we are using a lot more takeout from restaurants, plastic forks, plastic containers. For example, we cannot go to the restaurant, so we are ordering Uber Eats or all of these delivery services. So that's another thing. Mariana obviously brought up the masks. Obviously, this is something that the Earth has never experienced before. Suddenly, all of the humans are using these face coverings, and we're throwing it out everywhere on the street, in the ocean. So yeah, it's definitely good and bad for the Earth right now. To answer your question, Leslie, I do think that some issues are being pushed back because we are focused on the pandemic. But I mean, I know today we're not talking about social issues, but I think social issues are not being pushed back. We are focusing on social issues. So I think that's good. We didn't forget about, racism or sexism or all of these things. So that part is good, at least. But probably there are some parts that are like in medical science, maybe we're not pursuing medical research anymore because of the pandemic. Those doctors and scientists are focused on maybe vaccines or testing or taking care of patients, and instead of doing research. Maybe, I don't know, but that's my only thought about that. But I agree with IG and Mariana about the pollution side. It's like a balance, something is like getting better, but other things are getting worse.
I have a little story. At the beginning of the pandemic last March, March 2020, I went to my local grocery store and I had my reusable bags, and the grocery store clerk didn't want me to use my reusable bags because she didn't want me, near her or touching the food to put in my own bag. So she was putting them in plastic bags, saying that while it was this crisis pandemic time, we don't need to worry about the environment. We have to focus on, the health crisis right now. So that was a very interesting moment for me, because I understood. I was like, yeah, I want you to feel safe, but I also want to use my reusable bags because that's one of my few things that make me feel like I'm doing a little something, Any other comments about how the pandemic has affected the environment?
A couple days ago, I read something, the carbon footprint.
Uh-huh.
That is the Kyle and Mariana talk about. That is we will see in 10 or 50 years issues that pandemic caused right now. That's very interesting.
Yeah, so there's going to be a delay, Jefferson. Maybe we wouldn't see it immediately. Although Mariana indicated we're starting to see masks already in the ocean. But Jefferson, you're saying probably the full effect will be noticed only 5 or 10 years later. Yeah, I think that's probably true, Jefferson. Very good point.
Anyone
You know,
else?
let's, I was watching, maybe in preparation for this conversation club, I was watching some videos about the reason why I asked about the first Earth Day, because at that time, the biggest issues were about hole in the ozone layer and global warming, all of these things. So as a little bit of positivity, the ozone layer hole is actually quite recovered. So there are there are definitely things that have really improved. Chemicals, DDT, all of these pesticides, all of asbestos, a lot of chemicals are no longer being used anymore. This is huge. But then the video changed and said, although the hole in the ozone layer is being repaired, the oceans and the carbon dioxide levels are not, really being solved in general. So, it's sort of like some things progress and other things get worse. It's really tough as well, because other countries in the world, I mean, without pointing, fingers at people, there are other countries who are in different status of their development as well. Perhaps somewhere in India, they're developing and they're going through an industrial revolution, but maybe places like England have done that maybe 50 years ago. So it's hard to compare sometimes country by country as well, because a lot of countries are in different stages of development than other countries, and they're bigger and smaller. So the video was showing me how complicated this issue can be.
Another thing about the pandemic, as I assume that it's an opportunity for get some new knowledge, and through the new knowledge we can create or develop new ideas or new projects. For example, I don't remember where I heard it, but in internet said that there is a car that use hydrogen like a fuel. Actually, it's not a fuel, but it's like a fuel. The thing is that the hydrogen can regenerate or the atmosphere in this case. So, but actually, it's not an advantage project because that chemical is not easy to get. But there is a new idea that can be used for another ideas that can be advantage for the environment. Because I have been no sorry I have looked that people, I don't know, with the pandemic, people are learning new things constantly. Why? Because they are at home.
Like English, right, Christopher?
He said like English. People are learning lots of things like English too.
For example, or in courses, online courses, like with videos or with YouTube.
Yeah.
So with that new knowledge, we can make new ideas, and with that new ideas, we can make some solutions for the problem that we had at the beginning.
Yeah, that's a great point, Christopher. The pandemic is letting people to learn new things, but it's already been over a year. Who knows what they've learned and developed new technology solutions and theories for solving these issues? Yeah, I hope so. I hope you're right.
I hope that we don't go back to our old harmful habits of rush, money, production, spending.
Money will never go away.
Okay, but like consumption, yes.
Here's a good one. The cruise industry has really been shut down, and they are a huge problem in the oceans for pollution. So will the cruise industry come back or not? Great question, Leslie. I don't know.
I think that we have a gift to rethink and reimagine society, because we've had this pause forced on us. and we have a chance for a fresh start. And it'll be interesting to see how much we just go back to the old and how much things never return to the same. And maybe we'll be more consciously thought out, to use a Violetta term. Yeah.
Well, I think that we need a balance because I was reading that, for example, the cows, they produce methane, and this is a greenhouse gases, and that affect is part of the gases that create the climate change. So I think that we need to have a balance. For example, consumerism, I think during talking about the pandemic, I think the pandemic result in a lot of consumerism because people was ordering by Amazon, delivery app services, food delivery. So we have a lot of boxes because I think that I was part of it, but a lot of boxes in my house because we are ordering everything. So I think that we need is a balance to, because there are overuse of everything, food, things. We need to be conscious about it. And I think I remember that when I was living in Mexico during the vacations in the Easter, it was in Mexico is a Holy Week. There was studies that the air pollutions, the a reduction of air pollution because everybody was on the beaches, and in Mexico City the air was cleaner. So I think that due to the pandemic, I think, or I hope that is happening, that some greenhouses is reducing due to the people are at home.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think it's a benefit for us now, or it's a perk of the pandemic.
Yeah, I think Violetta, just to give another addition to your opinion, I think it's totally true because I don't remember when it was, but I do know it was during the pandemic. I think it was Italy. The water is cleaner. They're seeing some fish, and then there was another city in Canada. There's more wildlife coming into the city. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's definitely having an effect for sure.
Yeah, is what happened in Chernobyl? That
Yeah.
Oh,
now
yeah.
there is it's greeny, and yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was watching some documentary. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you guys. Netflix recommendation. Actually, I'm going to share my screen because I found the picture. This was added to Netflix during the pandemic, I believe. David Attenborough's A Life on Our Planet. And he shows Chernobyl and how since that crisis, that terrible accident, there's deer and like all this plant life and wildlife throughout the ruins of the city. And definitely they're talking on the news every day, not every day, but often in Canada about the wildlife that has wandered into the cities. I've seen a lot of, like I went to Tommy Thompson Park in Toronto, is on the lake. So it is an area of wildlife, but there was a fox just hanging out in the daytime, probably not a healthy fox, but I've been seeing foxes. A lot of people have been talking about coyotes, which are kind of like wolves in city areas as well in Canada. So there's a lot of animals everywhere, which
Yeah, I heard about that too.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's safe for the animals or for us, but it's cool.
But with Violetta's point, it was more so, I guess I shouldn't have connected it to animals, but she's right. Like air pollution, water pollution in specific tourist areas or cities has definitely come down. Maybe the mask part will catch up with us, as Jefferson said. But for the time, it was definitely cleaner. And I believe India, the Taj Mahal, the smog was reduced. There was so many clear indications that humans are causing a lot of pollution, and when human numbers go down, it really cleans up pretty quickly. So hopefully this can be like an inspiration for us to treat the pandemic, as Leslie said, not necessarily as a fresh start, but at least a second chance to, improve things around the world. That would be great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, scientists could use the data that has come up from this kind of experiment that was forced on us to indicate like, oh, this is what happens when people don't drive so much or where there's no cruise ships. Yeah, they were also talking on the news about how the richest people in the world, some percentage, I don't know if it's the 1%, but produce so much more pollution than a huge number of people who are poor, because that they fly all the time and all sorts of other things. So yeah, we'll have some good data coming out of this, and that scientists can help try to convince, you know, governments and businesses to change things. We're out of time. Today we got to see cows. We got to have a very intellectually stimulating conversation. I feel like I was like, this is the UN or something. Like, this is profound.
Yeah, this was like a university class.
It was. This was yeah, very advanced English discussion, and it was a joy to get to hear from all of you. And thank you so much for joining us. Again,
Leslie,
to the
if I may, I will say, if you're interested in topics exactly like this, you know, environment, debating, technology, you know, power, we have a course right now. I don't know, depending on your time zone, but it's offered in the morning. It's power speaking, but it's level 4, which is a fairly high level. And I can tell pretty much from all of you guys that your level would be more than adequate to take this class. And it's not so much focused on ESL, you know, it's more focused on using advanced vocabulary, such as things like carbon footprint and how to use scientific words, academic words, and to present your opinions, and how to debate and discuss. And at the end of the class, I believe you do an actual lesson, like you're the teacher. So Christopher would sort of have a topic, let's say it's about Venezuela oil industry and how it affects environment. And then he will give a presentation about this and teach his fellow students. So just if you're interested in these kinds of discussions that we did here, and let's maybe say, oh, teacher, I'm so tired of learning grammar and I don't want to learn pronunciation. I just want to focus on improving my fluency and I want to learn more vocabulary in an academic way. I just thought of it. I just want to recommend that class. It's in the morning. It's Power Speaking 4. When I say morning Toronto time, you'd have to check your time zone. Thank you. Sorry, Leslie, to interrupt.
No, that was really great. Because we do, yeah. And even the academic classes, they even though you're learning grammar, maybe you're using it in the context of interesting contemporary topics like the environment. My intermediate level speaking class also gets to discuss, we talked about society last week, so that was quite similar. Xavier, our mystery friend, is listening, and he was a little nervous about his English level, but RCIIS also has foundation beginner English classes. So whatever your level, we welcome. And we welcome you whatever your level in this club. So even though that we have people coming who are very, very experienced, very confident in English, you can always come to this club, and the hosts like me and Kyle will adapt our speaking and include you. So yeah, we want.
Thanks for listening, Xavier. We appreciate it.
Even yeah.
We saw you for like 0.5 seconds.
We feel your presence.
Yes.
So yes, thank you all so much. I hope you have a lovely day. Please, viewers or anyone, contact us. Don't be shy if you're interested in learning about what are your English study options at RCIIS, and we just love to hear from you. And let's say bye to YouTube. Okay, bye YouTube.
Bye.
Thanks
Bye,
for